What's going on, guys? My name is Steve. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to a tour around a British funeral home. Unfortunately for me, I spent way too much time in American funeral homes because I've had way too many people in my family die throughout my life. Obviously, that's something I can't control, but it's something I've had to experience. And, even very, very close family. So I know a lot about American funeral homes at this point, but I thought it would be really interesting to kind of see the contrast between an American funeral home and a British funeral home. What differences may I notice and what similarities will there be? This will be the first time I've ever looked at any funeral homes in the UK, and I think this should be really interesting. I've always had a fascination with death. Not anything really weird, but, I've always enjoyed cemeteries. I've always enjoyed learning about kind of into life preparations and the death process. It's just something that I find very interesting. I don't know why that is, but since I was little, I've always had a fascination with that type of thing. I think it's just the peace aspect of it or something, or the questioning what happens after this life. So anyways, guys, I don't really know what to expect here, but I think this will be interesting. So let's just go ahead and dive in and take a look at a British funeral home.
So, as promised, show you funeral directors. This is the premises. There we go. And I'm going to take you inside now. None of them coming in, so I've just got back on that funeral. That's Cheryl to right hand side.
Looks furnished nicely.
And this is Kelly. She's on phone to somebody at the moment. So I'll sweep around the funeral home. This is just reception, where families pop in to see us. And then through them doors there is our chapels of rest.
Chapels of rest.
These are chapels. I'll show you in one of the chapels. Really cool in here because it's all air conditioned. So that's one of the chapels of rest.
Chapels of rest. I've never heard that term before.
So when we bring a loved one in, this is where coffin usually stays here.
Oh.
That's in a chapel.
Okay, so basically a chapel of rest is basically a small room where the deceased will be, and then loved ones can come in and visit with the deceased, say their last respects or whatever, with maybe in privacy with the door closed and whatnot. That's what I'm gathering this is, which is a little bit different from what we have in the U.S. At least in my experience. There's no really small little room you can go in. It's all like the casket will be in this really large room where you could probably fit 100 people in that room. And usually you will have 100 people in there if it's a large funeral. And everybody just congregates in that room and they're talking, and then they'll go up, as they want to see the deceased in the casket. And, but yeah, that sounds different. Originally, when he said chapel of rest, I thought it was going to be a place to where everybody went in, they kind of sit down in benches, and almost like a church service to where there's like a pastor up on stage, so to speak, and he's doing a service. Because that is something that happens in the U.S. a lot of times. If you notice, a lot of U.S. funeral homes we don't have the small rooms like this. We have these large rooms separate from where the casket is, and they'll go into an actual chapel, and they'll have kind of like a church service sort of thing, but just about the deceased. But yeah, let's continue.
now we're going downstairs.
So I've got down the date that Alan.
Right, so this is reception entrance. This is food for food bank.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I collect food for people in community. These are all his neighbours around us who are absolutely amazing. As you come round the corner, you've got our little garden of remembrance. You know, some people have the loved one's ashes put in here, or they'll just have a rose tree
Really?
in memory of someone.
Oh yeah, I see.
That's that.
They'll choose to bury the ashes right there.
Trevor's car.
I've never seen that.
And then go back here is the garage. Back through here.
Cleaning supplies, stuff like that.
And this is, oh yeah, lads have got a bandit.
Look at that car back there.
Quite a bit.
I think I know.
It's private ambulance.
Private ambulance. Okay, private ambulance. Is that what they call the van that brings the deceased body to the funeral home? I've never heard that term before, but look at this car. That's wild, dude. I've never seen, you can imagine, we do not see cars like this in the US ever. That is so cool though. What is this? I mean, what type of vehicle is this? This is, oh man. I mean, it's awesome for a funeral vehicle, you know, of some sort. I'm guessing this maybe carries is this the hearse? I mean, that's what I'm gathering. I think this might be the hearse, but if it is, what a cool hearse, man. Absolutely.
This is the hearse.
Yep, okay.
The hearses that we have.
Wow, dude. That is awesome.
That's the vehicle that you saw on other video.
So,
We were out in.
wait.
That's one of the limousines.
Nice cars, man. Seriously.
And that's the other limousine. This is Kai sneaking around.
Okay, so I don't want to pause. I'm trying not to pause too much, but this is so new to me. So this is obviously a hearse of some sort as well. Both of these are hearses. Like, so what I believe, because it looked like this had a room in the back for this one right here, looked like it had a room in the back as well for a coffin. So what would be the reason they would drive one or the other? Or maybe one is just more expensive to drive than the other or something like that. One's a little fancier. I don't know, but yeah, please let me know in the comments if you know the difference between these and why they would be used. And I'm guessing, is the other limousines used to carry family to the cemetery?
Again. So that's in the back of the funeral ambulance.
Funeral ambulance, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, that makes sense.
So now, let's get you through here. Coffin storeroom. Up there is a workshop. And now into here. We've got David Emmingham, mortuary manager. Say hello to everybody.
Hello everybody.
Sir David. Michelle, who you met earlier on. Think identification signs, we have them everywhere. This is an embalming theatre. Let me just turn that fan off. So this is dressing area and embalming theatre. So there is, in here, everything that we need for working. This is a sluice. Every funeral director should have one of these. sadly they don't. But everything goes down there. It's all stainless steel.
Guys, they keep a really clean operation here, man. I mean, obviously, I understand, funeral homes, especially where they're going to be, messing with the deceased, doing the embalming and the dress and all that. It needs to be clean, but this looks exceptionally clean. I've seen other areas in different funeral homes, and this looks extremely clean. One thing that I noticed though was that all the caskets that I saw were wood, and that's something I don't know if you guys do metal caskets very often, but here in the U.S., I don't know what the ratio of using wood coffins to metal coffins would be, but it seems like a lot of people go with metal. And maybe they do here and they just have them in a different area. But that's one thing I would be curious to know. Do you guys generally use metal caskets very often or just wood? Obviously, wood is very, it'll break down eventually. But for some reason, a lot of people in the U.S. are very concerned with that. They want these crazy liners that last forever and then put their metal coffins in and hope that their body will stay intact forever. I don't really understand why. It's like just you're dead. So, but anyways, guys, let's continue.
And then this, that's the shower. Loved ones have showered on this table. All our equipment that we use. We put big fan on just so it blows some air out and we turn it back on, otherwise David will get annoyed. There we go. Kai's spying on me. David's spying on me. They're fridges.
You need watching.
I need washing, see. So they're where loved ones are kept. There's 30 fridges there in total, and above fridges we've had
Did you say 33?
air conditioning unit built in. So
if that's the
all
case,
this
wow.
area we can actually freeze down. Well, not freeze it, but take it down.
Oh, the whole area.
When a loved one passes away, they brought into here, and that's mortuary register. So everyone who comes into care has these details taken. Date that they brought into care, full name of the person, sex, age, cause of death, name and house, so on and so on. So that's that. Here is Squeak, hiding behind door. Say hello.
Hello.
That's Glenn. Remember I said Squeak earlier? Is that all that's got to say? Hello? COVID signs. We're still sadly dealing with COVID occasionally, not very often now.
Look at that hearse,
Then we're
dude.
back into garage area, which is totally separate
Man.
from everything else. And there are premises. I think it'd be good if all funeral directors did this, so it takes, like, everybody's frightened of it, aren't they? Everybody's thinking, oh, what happens behind the funeral directors? What do they do? Well, in actual fact, there's nothing to be scared of at all. This used to be a pub called High Noon in my local when I was younger, not in my older days. Probably the first pub I ever got barred from. So that's why I kept that sign. It were outside. I don't know if you can see it. I'm just going to put this on so I can see. Yeah. So up there is High Noon sign. There's still tables and chairs up there.
All right, guys, this was a really awesome tour. Give me a good idea of what a British funeral home looks like. Obviously, I'm sure not all British funeral homes look the same. Some are going to be smaller, some are going to be larger. I'm sure the, what was it called? The Chapel of Rest may be bigger or smaller in certain areas. But all in all, I thought this was really interesting. Definitely different from what I'm used to in the US. I think that Chapel of Rest is actually a really cool thing because it allows a more intimate setting, so to speak. You know, for people who don't want to be, who kind of want to be alone with the deceased for a moment to say goodbye. You know, versus what we have in the U.S., you have these huge rooms that'll fit like 200 people or something like that, like a lot of people, and you know, you're there and anybody can walk up to the casket at any time, you know, and you're just all congregating together. In some ways, that's pretty cool because you're all just kind of congregating in this area. But other ways, if you kind of want to be able to say goodbye and express yourself to the deceased without anybody around, it can be a little harder to do that somewhere like the U.S. where we have these huge open rooms. But I feel like here, you could probably close the door for a moment. I'm guessing that's what that's for, kind of have a little more privacy. And then everybody else is kind of waiting out in the reception area or whatnot. It kind of makes sense. And one of the other things that really stood out to me was the, where's it at? Well, the hearse, man. Those two hearses were beautiful. Those cars were beautiful. And the fact there is this this deceased ambulance here. That's kind of interesting to me. But those hearses are beautiful. Look at that car, man. I've never seen a hearse like that before. Even the other hearse is really nice, but not like this. This is amazing. You know, I do want to know what the difference in the hearses are. I mean, is this just more expensive or is this just for a particular, you know, a more fancy funeral or something like that? I don't really know. You know, I also thought it was really interesting to take a look inside the back here to where they handle everything. I thought this was very, very clean. This looks like a very professional funeral home. I don't know where it showed where it was on the sign up here. Let's see, Michael Fogg. What's that say? Something family independent family funeral directors. Okay, Michael Fogg. I'm not sure if that's that man that just took us on that tour or not, but you know, this is in Sheffield, so if you're in the area, I guess you probably already know this funeral home, but I thought I'd point them out in case someone needed to know where this was. But yeah, there's their phone number. But guys, they seem very professional, and I really appreciated just kind of the professionalism I felt from whoever the man was doing this tour. And I really think it looks like a very classy place. I don't know if British funeral homes normally look this looks upscale in a way. I mean, just this looks like mahogany wood. I'm not 100% sure. And it's just the leather seating and stuff. It looks nice. I appreciate it. But all in all, I thought this was really cool, guys. I'd love to actually see some more stuff like this. Sometimes I don't even really know what to look for. So if you have ideas of what I should look for, please let me know in the comments. Like, I'd like to see if there's some actual differences between the actual funeral process between the UK and the US for one, and just all sorts of things like that. You know, if you have any ideas of things you think I might find interesting, please feel free to leave them in the comments. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow me on my journey to discover my British and Irish ancestry. Until next time, guys, peace.